Mistake number 1, buying the alternative when the real one is within reach. It's easy to fall into the trap of compromise, especially when the wait feels too long or the price tag feels just out of reach. The heart wants a Speedmaster, a Submariner, or maybe something with real historical clout. But along comes a more attainable alternative. It scratches the itch temporarily, but does it satisfy in the long run? Not really. The excitement wears off. The box opens, the watch goes on the wrist, but something's missing. It's not the one that was dreamt about, researched, and anticipated. And soon, that feeling sets in. The regret of not waiting just a little longer or budgeting just a little. Smarter to land the real thing. Buying watches impulsively, especially alternatives that seem like a quick fix, rarely brings lasting satisfaction. The smarter approach? Delay the gratification. Go for what truly resonates. A luxury watch should feel like a trophy, not a substitute. Mistake number 2, skipping the bracelet to save money. Trying to shave a little off the purchase price by getting the strap-only version? That decision often costs more in the long run. Many luxury brands don't sell bracelets separately or make them tricky to acquire. It's not like adding an extra strap to your cart. It usually means contacting a boutique, waiting, and paying a premium. The resale market also favors watches with their original bracelet, not just for aesthetics, but for value. Even among enthusiasts, a watch with the factory bracelet tends to command higher interest and better pricing. Plus, having the bracelet means more flexibility. Want to dress it down? Swap it for a leather or rubber strap. Want the original look? Snap the bracelet back on. Skipping the bracelet might feel like a budget-friendly move, but it limits future options and can become a real pain later on. Mistake number 3, ignoring the pre-owned market. There's a lot of focus on the latest models and retail releases, but the pre-owned market holds serious gems, especially for collectors who know what to look for. For some models, pre-owned might not make sense, especially when they're trading at or above retail. But for many others, especially lightly worn or discontinued references, the pre-owned space offers incredible value. Still, it demands smart decision-making. Buying pre-owned isn't just about the watch itself. It's about the entire package. That includes the seller's reputation, the condition of the piece, the presence of box and papers, and return or warranty policies. A watch without proper documentation or sold as is might look tempting on the price tag, but the long-term headaches can outweigh the short-term savings. It's often better to pay a bit more for a cleaner, fully documented. Example: condition, authenticity, and traceability go hand in hand, and always verify with trusted sellers and use resources like Watch Recon to check market pricing across dealers. That extra time spent researching sellers can be the difference between scoring a great deal and inheriting someone else's problem. A polished case, over-serviced dial, or mismatched bracelet might not seem like much at first, until it affects resale or collectability down the road. The pre-owned space also introduces more variation, from small batch releases to vintage finds that aren't available through retailers anymore. For those who love watches with character, a gently aged bezel fade or vintage patina can be more appealing than a factory fresh piece. But that charm only works when everything else checks out. That's why it's crucial to factor in service history, mechanical health, and legitimacy of the paperwork. In a market where fakes and Frankenwatches do exist, trusted platforms and expert opinions are worth every bit of attention. Don't just chase the discount. Chase the right example. Buying pre-owned ones isn't settling. It's leveling up your collecting game with savvy and intent. Mistake number 4, unrealistic views on value and appreciation. The idea that every luxury watch is some kind of hidden investment opportunity, that mindset leads straight into disappointment for most buyers. Truth is, the majority of watches lose value after purchase, sometimes significantly. Only a tiny percentage of references from select brands like Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Audemars Piguet tend to appreciate or hold value. And even then, it's not guaranteed. Expecting a big resale win? That's a fast track to disillusionment. The secondary market is nuanced. Getting access to high-demand pieces often requires prior purchase history or strong connections with retailers. And even among investment-grade watches, market trends shift fast. One release can drive up values, while a sudden drop-in demand can cause a sharp dip. Watches should be bought with passion first and practicality second. Yes, value. Retention matters, but it shouldn't be the only lens through which to view a potential Purchase mistake number 5, rushing the decision without research. The thrill of finding a watch that looks perfect can override reason, but diving in without doing the homework, that's one of the easiest ways to end up with buyer's remorse. Research isn't just about learning the specs, it's about understanding the story. Know the model's history. Learn the different references. Figure out the difference between a Mark I and a Mark II dial. Learn what changed across generations. That deep dive might reveal a deal breaker or introduce a more appealing alternative. It also means talking to real owners, the people who wear the watch daily. Find out how it fits, how it wears, how it looks in natural light. Don't rely solely on marketing images or videos. Connecting with owners, even on social platforms, gives valuable perspective. So slow it down. Let the watch live in the mind for a while before pulling the trigger. Lust can fade fast. Real love lasts longer, and that love? It usually comes from understanding every little nuance, the quirks, the history, the reason a certain lug shape or bezel design was chosen, even simple things like bracelet fitment, loom performance, or how the watch plays with light at different times of day can make or break long-term satisfaction. Forums, YouTube reviews, Instagram wrist shots, all of these help paint a clearer picture of what owning that watch really feels like, and sometimes that extra hour spent digging into the model might reveal a version with better specs, cleaner aesthetics, or a price point that stretches further. Or maybe it shows that the hype isn't justified and the watch doesn't match the lifestyle at all. Taking time also helps to separate emotional impulse from logical clarity. If a watch keeps popping back into thought after days or even weeks, that's a good sign it's worth pursuing. But if it fades the moment something shinier pops up, that's the signal to keep looking. Mistake number 6, creating financial stress just to buy a watch. A luxury watch should never come at the cost of peace of mind. Spending beyond comfort just to acquire a watch usually ends up backfiring. Watches are emotional purchases, and sometimes emotion wins over logic. But turning a passion into a financial burden adds pressure that drains the joy out of the experience. Suddenly, that timepiece doesn't represent success or satisfaction. It becomes a reminder of poor planning or debt. The better path? Saving gradually and intentionally. There's something deeply satisfying about buying a watch after working toward it responsibly. The reward feels earned, not impulsive. Watches should enhance lifestyle, not limit it. They should accompany life's moments, not take away from them. If a watch is causing stress or regret, it's not worth it. No matter how iconic it is. Mistake number 7, buying an icon just because it's iconic. Everyone knows the classics, the Submariner, the Speedmaster, the Royal Oak, and while they're legendary for a reason, they're not mandatory to feel like a real collector. Wearing a watch purely because it's recognizable or respected doesn't guarantee a connection. If it doesn't resonate personally, it's just another piece of metal on the wrist, even if it's objectively great. Buying based on community validation or perceived status often leads to quick flips and unfulfilling ownership. The better approach? Go for something that sparks genuine excitement, even if it's less mainstream. Luxury watch. Collecting is about self-expression. What matters isn't what others think, it's how the watch feels when worn. So skip the status symbols if they don't align. Find the piece that reflects identity, not expectation. The idea that owning an icon somehow completes a collection is just noise. Some collectors feel pressured to grab a Daytona or Nautilus just because of the hype, not because it speaks to them. But wearing a watch that doesn't match the vibe, the lifestyle, or even personal taste, that shows. There's something undeniably powerful about choosing a piece because it fits the wearer, not because it checks a box on someone else's list. Sometimes the most meaningful watches are the ones that fly under the radar, the sleeper hits that start conversations instead of ending them. A lesser-known reference with unique character can carry more emotional weight than the most photographed model on Instagram. That's where real collecting happens, in the margins, in the choices that aren't dictated by trends. No one needs external validation to appreciate great design. A watch becomes iconic when it connects, not when it conforms. And that connection, it's always personal, never prescribed. Mistake number 8, getting sucked into the hype. The hype machine is real and it's relentless. New releases, influencer picks, limited drops. The noise is constant, but hype is short-lived. Buying because everyone's talking about it rarely ends well. It leads to inflated pricing, crowded markets, and a sense of urgency that clouds judgment. Collectors often end up with watches they never truly truly loved, just hyped references they felt pressured to acquire. Meanwhile, underrated brands with incredible craftsmanship and design go unnoticed. True collecting thrives on curiosity, exploration, and authenticity. The best watches aren't always the loudest. They're the ones that align with personal style and story, even if no one else knows what's on the wrist. Mistake number 9, not thinking about when or if the watch will actually be worn. One of the most overlooked parts of the buying process. Real life, the lifestyle, the wardrobe, the wrist size, all of it plays a role in whether a watch actually gets worn. A stunning dress watch might sit untouched because it doesn't fit with casual attire. A bold dive watch might overwhelm a smaller wrist. A second or third blue dial, sports watch might overlap too much with pieces already in the collection. Even worse, some watches get locked away in safes, worn maybe once a year, if at all. And while there's nothing wrong with keeping a few safe queens, the point of collecting should be enjoyment, not hoarding. Before buying, consider the scenarios where the watch would actually shine. Think about versatility, comfort, and wearability. A great watch should fit not just the wrist, but the rhythm of daily life. That includes asking a few simple but meaningful questions. Does it complement the clothes already in the closet? Will it get wrist time at work, on weekends, or during a travel? Is it too flashy for everyday errands or too delicate for a rough commute? A watch shouldn't be a constant question mark. It should slide naturally into a routine. Some watches are beautiful on display, but end up feeling like a chore when worn. Others feel perfect on paper, but in person, they're either too bulky, too formal, or simply not your wrist presence matters. But so does wrist personality. There's no point in owning a watch that feels like a costume. The best pieces don't just suit the lifestyle. They elevate it, blending in when needed and standing out when it counts. Ultimately, a well-worn watch becomes part of the wearer's story. And the ones that see the most use, they're often not the most expensive, but the most authentic. Investing in luxury watches is as much about patience and mindset as it is about money. The truth is, it's easy to fall into the traps, to chase trends, skip research, or compromise too soon. But the best collectors, the ones who find lasting satisfaction, are the ones who stay grounded. They know what they love, they plan their purchases, and they always buy with purpose. Whether it's a first big purchase or a 10th addition to an established collection, the same principles apply. Condition is king, documentation matters, hype fades, and personal connection is everything. The mistakes, they're avoidable, every single one. And learning from them is what separates a regretful buy from a lifetime keeper. Found this breakdown helpful? There's more where that came from. For deeper insights, updates on the latest releases, and thoughtful analysis, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. And don't forget to join the newsletter. It's packed with weekly stories, movement breakdowns, and industry insights you won't find anywhere else. You'll also want to check out Watch Recon, Chrono 24, and watch charts for research, pricing, and trends. Whether buying, selling, or just getting started, make smarter decisions, avoid the traps, and build a collection that truly reflects personal style. Stay curious, stay sharp, and happy collecting.